Now, you tell me what's wrong. Here's Bernie Sanders, audio of Bernie Sanders yesterday trying to praise communist China.
But what we have to say about China, in fairness to China and its leadership, is, if I'm not mistaken, they have made more progress in addressing extreme poverty than any country in the history of civilization.
Okay. Bernie, I think you... I do not think those words mean what you think it means. What he didn't talk about was that it is the free market principle that China's started to enact that they got from us. It wasn't communism. Never before in history have so many people escaped poverty in such a short time in the past decades in China. Okay. According to the official World Bank figures, the percentage of extremely poor people in China in 1981 was 88.3%. By 2015, only 0.7% of the Chinese population was living in extreme poverty. Now, wait a minute. Poor people in China fell from 878 million people to less than 10 million people since 1981. Now, what happened? What happened? Well, under Mao, the state had, an omnipotent grip over China's economy. What happened over the last few decades can be summed up in a couple of sentences. China embraced the tenets of a free market economic system. It introduced private ownership, gradually reduced the influence of the once all-powerful state over the Chinese economy. Now, they are still communists, and is still state-controlled, much of it. But you also have these independent companies, these companies that are not collapsing. These companies that are run by the state are collapsing, as we pointed out earlier this week. China had to print $50 trillion. $50 trillion. Half of that went right to these state-owned companies that are dying. The state still plays a major role, but it's free market capitalism. After the death of Mao and the death of communism. Let me give you this story, Bernie. Here's another story for you. Tell me if this sounds like communism or a celebration of capitalism. Quoting the story, it was no surprise that the crowds at China's first Costco location would be big. But the company wasn't prepared for this. The photos of the opening of the Shanghai location of Costco painted a clear picture of the reports coming out of China, which said that a deluge of shoppers clogged up parts of the store and built up traffic on roads right outside of Costco, resulting in a 3-hour wait for a parking space. Shoppers crowded the meat department, which included the Costco rotisserie chicken and the food court. Elbows and arms were thrown in every direction as customers attempted to pick up various items. The sheer amount of people forced the store to shut down hours early. And a text message to members reportedly read, in part, to provide you with better shopping experience, Costco will suspend business in the afternoon. Please don't come. Now, why were they there? Well, the deep discounts that a Costco membership gives you. This is something spectacular in China. The usual items offered to first-time customers of the Shanghai location had discounts also on other luxury items. The South China Morning Post reported that you could get Prada tote bags and MCM leather backpacks. There's also reportedly an Hermes super popular Birkin bag available. We don't know the prices of it. even if you did manage to get a big ticket item or even something smaller on a smaller scale, such as food, checkout was a nightmare. If you managed to wait the 3-hour wait to get a parking space, when you got the parking space, you were warned that it could take 2 hours just to check out. All in all, Costco managed to stay open until 1:40 p.m., 5 hours after it first opened. Now, it's a Costco. We have them everywhere. They're great, but are you waiting 5 hours to buy something at Costco? No. So is it communism, Bernie, that has everybody excited and is lifting people out of poverty? And if it's communism, how come it didn't work under Mao? What changed? Oh, these people are crazy. Truly, truly crazy. You know, there are times, there are a few days that I can recall in every broadcaster's life. There's a few days where you're like, wow, really? I mean, things happen that are so crazy, you can't believe you have to tell the American people about them. Let me give you one. This week, while listening to Barack Obama talk about the dangers of a rising ocean due to climate change, you're listening to maybe his clips, or you're lucky enough to be able to get online and listen to his speech. While he's giving that speech, it's announced that he bought a $14 million beachfront home on Martha's Vineyard. Now, I don't know if you have an awful lot of credibility if you are giving a speech about how all of our beaches are going to go away and there's flooding coming and all of the islands will be gone, and that day you're buying a $14 million beachfront home. That's one of those days that you're like, I can't believe I have to say this. I can't believe there are some people out there who are like, whoa, no, wait a minute. How about this one? A day in the life of a broadcaster where you have to say, hey, by the way, I'm just going to let you know that, yeah, Hillary Clinton kept a private email server with classified government documents in a closet in her bathroom for more than 5 years. She wipes all the hard drives while under investigation. And this week, it also looks like the FBI knew about this huge stack of really, really vital documents, and they didn't look through any of them. That's when you look back and you're like, wow. Bernie Sanders praising China, talking about how they're lifting people out of poverty while they are building concentration camps. Really, dude? Are you serious?